It's all part of freedom. It's all part of freedom. Kyle in Pennsylvania, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, how are you today?
Oh, I'm watching the country slide into total oppression.
Well, I got a question on the health care bill. I read somewhere that a family's only going to be able to have $5,000 worth of health care a year.
Yeah, they're going to decide how much health care you can have. It's all written by the insurance companies where everybody has to pay more on average and then get less care and be ripped off. That's why the insurance company, big owners like Warren Buffett are just, their stocks are just exploding, and it's all just a big giant joke.
Well, I was at the hospital like a month ago to get my finger, a couple stitches in it, and it cost me $446, I think.
Well, that's nothing. When they're done, it'll cost you $10,000.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna, and like someone with cancer, they're gonna last a month, and then they're gonna be out of health care.
Well, it's the new system. We've got to get the American people dependent and got to bankrupt things further so the banks can take over. And they've promised to give all our natural resources and infrastructure over to foreign companies as collateral that buy our debt, and that's now happening. All the major ports, everything, and it just continues. In fact, I'm going to cover some of that. I'm going to cover some of that when we come back. For decades, U.S. companies aren't allowed to drill in the Gulf of Mexico, but the Chinese, the Russians, they're all allowed to. See, it's all about destroying America, literally. I appreciate your call. All right, Zach, Jason, others, 1-800-259-9231. We are live. It is Friday, the 19th day of March, 2010. PrisonPlanet.tv and Infowars.com are the websites. Got a key trailer coming up. The people running this country are determined to destroy it. They gave the Panama Canal that we built to the Communist Chinese. Washington Times, Obama surrenders Gulf oil to Moscow. The Obama administration is poised to ban offshore drilling in an even wider area on the outer continental shelf until 2012 or beyond. Meanwhile, Russia is making a bold strategic leap to begin drilling for oil in the Gulf of Mexico. While the United States attempts to shift gears to alternative fuels to battle the purported evils of carbon emissions, Russia will enact oil derricks, will erect them off the Cuban coast. There's one 644 square mile area right off the coast of Louisiana discovered in the 70s that has more oil, get ready for this, than Saudi Arabia. Probably more than Alaska. We can't have it. But the Chicoms and the Cubans can. Mexico signed a deal, 4 years ago with the Chinese to move into their areas, but we can't have ours. And so the corporations move offshore. Halliburton, all of them. Halliburton helps give nuclear weapons parts and oil field equipment to Iran. Oh, but they're not traitors. If I say I don't want to attack Iran, I'm a traitor. Or if I don't want to give Moscow our oil, well, that's evil. But if I go on Russian TV and speak out against the New World Order and say we shouldn't have cybersecurity takeover, they have neocons come out and say, Alex Jones, Ruski agent. This is how the idiocy works. And hey, the Russians, they're getting their people oil. The Russians pay their people to have children. Our government pays you not to. And it's moving towards a one-child policy. But I guess if the Russians are against abortion, I better be for it, or then I'm a Ruski, right? The New World Order, the people running this country, are determined to destroy it. Now I'm going to go through some news and then to Zach, Jason, Mike, and David. That'll probably be it for calls this hour. Got some guests coming up you don't want to miss in the third and fourth hour. But I wanted to thank some of the sponsors that made today's radio show possible. Diamond Gusset Jeans. They're made in America in Tennessee. I wear them. They sent me free pairs 4 years ago. It's all made right here in America. The cloth, the sewing, they're high quality. They look great. They're basically like Levi's. They don't fall apart. Now Levi's are made in Mexico. Go to gussetclothing.com, Gusset, gussetclothing.com today. It's made in America. I mean, do people care and want to keep their jobs? You better start trying to buy American when you can. Diamond Gusset Jeans. They got motorcycle jeans, regular jeans, bunch of different clothing lines. These are tough jeans, folks. GussetClothing.com. You've heard the ad, Diamond Gusset Jeans. There's a place down in Tennessee. GussetClothing.com. Okay. You heard that clip in the piece we just played, the trailer for Invisible Empire, where Obama at the UN a few months ago says, no new world order will succeed that has any other nation above any other. That means financially. That's what the CFR, the UN have all said. Deindustrialize Europe, England, Canada, the United States, Australia, New Zealand. But also keep the third world low. That's what the Copenhagen Treaty said. Right at double. Not quite double, right at double. 1 point from doubling. The taxes on the third world that's on us. Totally keeping them in the dark ages and lowering us close to their level. That's why they want the open borders to drive down the wages, so no one has a chance to escape. So there's no tax haven, as the Organization of Economic Cooperative Development, big UN receivership body, says. They want our taxes roughly at about 80%, like France's. That, they say France is the model. So is Finland. All your money is in bank accounts. The government takes it out whenever they want. Everyone's phones are listened to. The government brags about it. They call it safety. This is the model. So I saw idiots commenting on the YouTube channel with the trailer going, well, this sounds good what Obama says, a new world order, no country being above another. That means financially. That's what Copenhagen is. China, India, Mexico, and 100 plus other nations have to make no carbon cuts. Every industrialized country does. So if you're a selected country to destroy the West industrial base, you have to make no cuts. If you're a third world country that's not developed, massive cuts. If you're a first world country, massive cuts. It's those middle tyranny engines, Mexico, China, and others, that are just absolutely above the law. And Mexico is the cancer meant to bring down America. Totally collapsed, totally enslaved people. The police machine gun anybody that protest. Total tyranny. 19,000 murdered the last 3 years and growing. Americans being slaughtered everywhere. All kept on the lowdown. The DL. And nobody can stand up in Latin America because they're so poor. And that's the tool. They want to make you real poor, and you go to the government for your health care and everything else.